All right, hey, what's going on, everybody? ChazmaN here, back with another stream of ChazmaN Live. This is now what our third episode, third stream of ChazmaN Live, where we kind of just chill, relax, take a chill pill, and I don't know. I kind of get up to date, get caught up on some of the interesting things happening in the interwebs. Looks like we got Phantom Fox and Skylar Twite in chat. What's up, y'all? Thank you so much for joining. I should, right off the bat, I will apologize for yesterday. I had incredibly bad internet connection. I don't know what it was. Everything seems stable now. Cross my fingers. Hopefully everything stays like that. So, yeah, I don't know what the issue is, man. I rebooted everything. Rebooted my router multiple times. Rebooted my PC. Tried anything I could, and yeah, things were not looking looking good there. So again, everything seems to be running fine now. Hopefully we're all good here. So how do I do this again? No, I'm kidding. I should say right off the bat, real quick, shout out to my Patreon backers. We've got Electro Pirate, Skylar Twilight, Tim, and Phantom Fox. So thank you so much to y'all. It all looks good, says Phantom. Hey, that's awesome. And then, of course, the Patreon, the socials, and the Discord. Hey, Landon is in chat. Landon says, "What's up? What's up, Landon? Thank you so much for joining." I will immediately say right off the bat, if you guys haven't seen on some of Discord or some of the other places, I finally achieved a YouTube partner. I got on the YouTube partner program, so essentially just got monetized, which is dope. Yeah, if you guys, for me, I've never had the opportunity to look at some of the YouTube stuff from the view of being monetized. So it's cool. Now I got that little money sign at the bottom right. No pressure. No one needs to, donate whenever you feel like it. If you feel like being friendly to ChazmaN. But yeah, that's cool. Like, I'm super excited to kind of see how I got to learn how to utilize some of that stuff. I've never been monetized before, so that's a different thing for me. But it's a big deal. Like, for me personally, I feel like I've been on this YouTube journey for 4 or 5 years now, hardcore, and I feel like I've gone through some up and downs of kind of figuring out how I like to do things and what people want to see. And for the longest time, I kind of did things my way, and after long enough, once you like, at least in my opinion, once I got far enough, I'm like, things going my way aren't going so hot. So maybe, I changed some things up here and there, and I don't know. I'm very happy with where things are now. So just want to say shout out, thank you so much to all of you who have supported and helped get me to a part of the YouTube partner program. It means a lot. So all right, forgot to mute my phone, so we got that out of the way. All right, so someone in Discord. Let's see, it was Tim, I remember. Tim was here yesterday, and I don't think Tim's here right now. But Tim had a video he thought was... might have been fun to watch. So let me pull that up, and we'll start with that. I had introduced this video. No. I always mess things up. Alright, did I mess anything up there? What is going on? Chat. No. What's going on here? Oh my gosh. Where's my chat at? Oh, I see what happened. Stupid. I'm terrible. I'm sorry, guys. There we go. Goodness. Alright. Hey, let's go, says Skylar. Okay, so first thing that Tim brought up yesterday was I've heard of Carl Jobst. I don't know if any of you have heard of Carl Jobst or Jobst. I've definitely heard of him. He's a big YouTube channel. And I guess it's not a super new topic, but it was an interesting one, I feel like. It was a video called Cheater Billy Mitchell Just Keeps Losing. I'm not a huge fan of Billy Mitchell. Landon says Sony Santa Monica confirmed there are no planned announcements at the God of 20th Anniversary Art Exhibit, but oh, that sucks. Actually, yeah, Landon was talking about that possibly being something that showed up at the Sony State of Play. What was it, or something like that? Landon says there was a 10th anniversary exhibition 2015. After the exhibition, remastered online, so they'll probably... Well, we'll see. I would be down to replay some remastered or updated God of War stuffs. Hey, Electro Pirates in chat. What's up, Electro? But yeah, so I guess introducing my background into this video. Billy Mitchell keeps losing. I know very little about Billy Mitchell other than Billy Mitchell was he was like a professional Donkey Kong player. The first time I'd heard of him, I'd actually watched that documentary. I don't know if you guys remember it. It was called The King of Kong. I remember watching that. And it was a story about Billy Mitchell, who at the time was like the world record holder, trying to stave off some new guy. I don't remember his name, but he eventually ended up becoming the champion, or set the high score in Donkey Kong. Yeah, the whole movie was just about how Billy Mitchell was just an a-hole and doing things, or him and some... It was something about... They thought he was colluding with the it was like collusion or something with the arcade or whoever was running the competition or something. I don't remember what the accusations were, but like the good guy ended up breaking Billy Mitchell's record and stuff like that. The fistful of quarters of King of Kong, yeah. But yeah, that's all I know about Billy Mitchell. And then I know over the years he's continued being a jerk and still being a part of like the Donkey Kong world record holder stuff. So apparently this has something to do with Billy Mitchell, which I'm interested to see what he's been up to. Yeah, he's a well-known cheater and lawsuit filer, says Phantom. Yes. Yeah, I haven't heard anything good about Billy Mitchell. I mean, it's fascinating how someone like that gains popularity in general. I guess that documentary... Well, no, because he was popular before the documentary, so... I don't know. It's interesting. Alright, so what do you say we check this out? I'm kind of curious. Luckily, it's a fairly short video. And Carl Yopes. Yeah, shout out to Carl Yopes. I don't think I've ever watched one of his videos, but I know I've heard of him. He's a good... makes good stuff. Nope. Wrong thing. There we go. All right, let's see. Let me know how audio levels are.
432 Mitchell versus Race.
Hello, you absolute legends. This is Billy Mitchell's lawyer, and these are the justices of the Supreme Court of Florida. Billy is trying desperately to stop his ridiculous and frivolous lawsuit against the world's greatest Pac-Man player, David Race, from being thrown out, and Billy is going to fail. Billy is famous for suing or...
Wait, he's suing and arguing with other people in other arcade games other than King or Donkey Kong. What? I'm not gonna lie. I was expecting it to still have to do with Donkey Kong, not this dude. This dude has multiple lawsuits involving multiple different video games. Okay, let's see where this goes.
Threatening to sue people who call him a cheater. Everyone already knows this, but defamation lawsuits aren't the only stupid lawsuits he likes to file, and Billy's lawsuit against David Race is arguably his dumbest ever. Billy sued David Race back in April of 2021 because David recorded phone calls between him and Billy. David wasn't recording these calls because he had some evil scheme to expose Billy.
I love how, I don't know if it's intentional or not, but I love how underneath where they're talking about the dude being sued by Billy Mitchell, they have the line, he's supporting cancer research as well. Just this guy, they're really making Billy look bad here. Billy suing this guy who supports cancer research
at some point, or for nefarious reasons. He recorded them because he records all of his calls with everyone. David is a resident of Ohio, where you don't need the other person's consent to record your calls. What David did was normal and legal where he lives.
Alright, so I'm going to try and stop pausing. But yeah, if you don't know, certain states, and I believe certain countries have, I don't, like he said, it's like a right or... Landon says, did I ever finish watching the video of the man who broke God of War in half? I never got to finish it. I think I got like 10 minutes in and I didn't get to really finish it. Maybe eventually. I definitely need to. But yeah, if you don't know I did actually. I'll be honest. I didn't know certain states allowed that. I thought that was only like a country-oriented thing where you don't need another side's approval to record a phone call. I know Canada is like that, where if someone calls you from Canada, you can record the phone call without being held liable for anything. But yeah, it's interesting. I actually didn't know there were states in Florida that were like that as well.
In fact, when David recorded these calls, which occurred between 2018 and 2019, David and Billy were friends, and David was a vocal supporter of Billy.
Never be friends with Billy Mitchell.
After reviewing much of the evidence against Billy, David came to the rational conclusion that not only did Billy cheat, but Billy had been lying directly to him and using him as a pawn. After learning the truth that Billy is a con man, David then chose to help Twin Galaxies in...
You're just learning that Billy Mitchell's a con man in the year... What year is it? 2019, 2020 this happened in? You didn't know Billy Mitchell was a con man then? What? That's crazy. Like, isn't that like common knowledge at this point? I mean, what year was the King of Kong? Now I'm curious what year that documentary came out. Like, yeah, shouldn't everyone... The King of... 2007. That's a 2007 movie. You didn't know Billy Mitchell was a con man? Holy crap. That's one of those things where it's like, I don't want to say I don't feel bad, but like, come on. Like, come on, people. Like, really? I don't want to say I don't feel bad for the guy for falling prey to Billy Mitchell, but it's like, dude.
Their lawsuit against Billy by providing them with a recording of a phone call showing that Billy was the type of person to lie and trick people. Billy was pissed that David was now helping Twin Galaxies. So Billy did what Billy does.
Oh my gosh, it's the same companies involved, Twin Galaxies. it's literally the same story from 2007, 8, whatever that happened in. It's the same people, Billy Mitchell. Twin Galaxies, that's some other arcade game. It's like the
set with someone. Like, he sued him.
History Billy rewriting itself.
That what David did was illegal because Billy lives in Florida, where you do need consent to record calls.
Wow, timeline we live in,
Skylar. It doesn't matter where Billy lives, it matters where David lives. And where David lives, it's totally legal. And the court agreed. In March of 2023, the appeal court dismissed the lawsuit, literally saying that what David did was legal and that Billy's lawsuit was offensive. But Billy's crusade against David knew no bounds, and he took it all the way to the Supreme Court of Florida, where finally, in November of 2024, they agreed that the lawsuit is to be thrown out for good. In this video, we will take a quick look at Billy's most recent failed attempt to sue an innocent person. I really hope you enjoy. Now, legends...
Odin is Salty says, I was playing this one game today, and this guy invited me to a party, and then he was trying to get me to fight a boss in the game, and when I came to join him, he left. I think he was trolling me. Possibly. That definitely happens. I don't really play PvP games. I need to at some point.
It's Christmas time, and what better way to spoil yourself or someone you love than with a beautiful poster from Displate. Displate offers metal posters that not only look amazing, but are also very durable and easy to install using the... Please click the link and grab a Displate today.
Shout out Displate.
First, I want to give you a quick update on what's happening with my own lawsuit against Billy. As many of you know, in September and October, I went to trial because of Billy's defamation lawsuit against me. I've had a lot of people ask...
Wait, Billy's suing this guy too? Why is Billy... Oh, I guess he's going to explain it, but... How many lawsuits does Billy have going on all at once?
Me what's going on, and if there has been a decision. So let me explain the process. My trial will be decided by a judge, and these decisions take time. It's not as simple as the judge just saying who won. As part of the decision process, they need to draft an extremely long and in-depth opinion about everything that happened during trial. This involves talking about all of the witnesses, all of the evidence given, all of the existing case law, and much more. And because my trial was relatively long, this decision is also going to be really long and involved. This takes weeks' time, and we will probably be waiting months for the judge to come back with his decision. And I don't know what that decision is going to be. During trial, Billy lied a lot, and ultimately what this will come down to is whether or not the judge believes anything Billy says. I think we made it pretty clear that Billy is a liar, but we're obviously biased, so who knows what the judge is thinking. Whatever the decision is, you will know as soon as it comes out. Even though many people who've read about my trial say they think I will win, I am keeping myself very humble. For my own mental health, I have already accepted the worst case scenario. I am already psychologically prepared to lose. I think the worst thing that could happen is I get my hopes up, think I'm definitely going to win, and then end up losing. I'd rather assume I've already lost, deal with the grief early, and then hopefully be pleasantly surprised by a positive
wrestler?
result.
Oh,
Either way, it won't affect this channel.
Oh, I just noticed the wrestlers. One is Billy Mitchell, well, one is Carl. That's pretty funny.
And I hope that if I do lose, I will still have your support. Recording a phone call without consent is legal in Ohio. It's important to know this context at the outset, because for the past 3 years, Billy Mitchell has put an innocent man through hell with this vindictive lawsuit. Until you've been sued yourself, it's honestly hard to appreciate just how destructive a lawsuit can be to someone's life. So while many of you obviously accept that suing an innocent person is morally wrong, the full extent of just how bad an action this is won't truly be understood by many people. And I do hope that Billy's actions result in him being further ostracized from the gaming community, because he didn't just sue anyone. He sued the best Pac-Man player ever. Billy always claims that he wants to champion video game competition, and that he is some shining beacon for the community,
Billy's
like he
a
says in
liar.
this clip here.
If I have achieved all that I could in the gaming world, I need to now push and advocate for competitive gaming, the players, the notoriety, the recognition, and all that they deserve.
But ironically, he's literally the worst thing to ever happen to video game high school competition. I mean, just his cheating alone would have been bad enough to solidify him as one of the most destructive figures in gaming history. But to go after so many fellow gamers who rightfully call out his cheating is even worse.
Billy's like
Billy
incredibly,
clearly does
he's
not
an incredibly
care about
toxic
the gaming community
figure.
because his actions towards other gamers are just evil. When you sue someone, one of the first things the court must establish is if it even has personal jurisdiction over the defendant. In this case, Billy, a Florida resident, sued David, an Ohio resident, and he...
Billy's in Florida? I didn't know Billy was in Florida. Where's Twin Galaxies located at? Twin Galaxies Arcade. Oh, I guess it says the arcade no longer exists, but it's just a company now. Interesting.
sued him in a Florida court, and it's up to Billy to argue why Florida can dictate what laws David should obey. The reality in this case is that Florida doesn't have jurisdiction over David. If David owned property in Florida or conducted business in Florida, it would be different, but neither of these things are true. David really doesn't have any contact with Florida at all. The only contact he had with Florida is the fact that he occasionally spoke with Billy, and Billy lives there. But just having conversations with people who live in a particular state isn't enough to give that state jurisdiction over you. And this is why in March of 2023, the District Court of Appeal dismissed the lawsuit. And in their opinion, they made it very clear that what David did was perfectly legal, and that any action brought against him in Florida...
Electropirate says he's a bum, bro. Yeah, that's... Again, the whole... I'm like baffled that that guy was just like suing him in like 2019, 2020. Again, it's like that documentary came out in like 2007, and even before then, most people thought Billy Mitchell was like an a-hole. It's like I don't understand.
Would be unjust. They said it
what
is
an absolute moron to deal with this guy. Like, yeah, why would anyone want to do business with Billy Mitchell?
Consent is not
Doesn't make
illegal in
sense.
Ohio, where the calls were recorded. The recording of the calls is not malum se, a wrong or evil in itself that is prohibited everywhere. Where a defendant legally records a phone conversation in his home state and has no other significant contact with Florida, it offends traditional notions of fair play and substantial justice to require him to appear in Florida to defend against a lawsuit for an alleged violation of the Florida Security of Communications Act. We therefore reverse and remand to the Circuit Court with directions to enter an order dismissing the case for lack of personal jurisdiction. This opinion was written by Judge Gross and was signed off on by the Chief Judge Mark Klingensmith. Now you would think that having the Chief Judge of the District Court of Appeal tell you that this lawsuit is offensive would perhaps give Billy some pause to reflect and reconsider his legal vendetta. But no, he continued pushing and took it all the way to the Supreme Court of Florida. In May of 2024, Billy's lawyer stood in front of the justices and tried to argue that Florida should have jurisdiction. jurisdiction, but his arguments were bizarre. For example, one of his arguments related to the fact that David posted on his Facebook account that it was illegal to record calls without consent in Florida. And because David knew it was illegal in Florida, this is supposed to mean that he shouldn't have done it in Ohio.
Correct. So I understand that there's a sense in which this is some murky thing about where is the conversation occurring and everything, but if the whole point of all this personal jurisdiction stuff is to focus on what the defendant is doing and the connection between what the defendant does and the forum, I mean, everything the defendant did, the recording, the speaking, I mean, it was all in Ohio. In what state was he in?
Ohio. Yeah. That is correct. He was physically located in Ohio, according to his affidavit. If I can take 1 second, just as you raised a point about whether or not the defendant knew my client was in Florida. He did subsequently post on Facebook that he went to justia.com and copied Florida statutes for the chapter 934 and copied on there and said, it is illegal in Florida to record a phone call unless all parties give consent. I'm paraphrasing.
I have questions about that as well, but I think if you could answer the Chief's question. Then.
This argument is of course irrelevant because David lives in
Billy Mitchell just stacking L's like the governor of Oregon. Interesting. I don't know anything about the governor of Oregon.
Ohio, and was in Ohio at the time. But this is just what Billy's lawyers love to do. They throw out nonsensical...
I've actually always thought if I was super wealthy and I had like infinite money, I've always thought I've actually wanted to move out to the area over there. Not Oregon in particular, but like I have friends that live out in like Seattle. I've always thought about Seattle. I don't know. I just feel like if I were to move, it would be to the opposite coast or something, somewhere totally different. Just being on like the East Coast has been like, I don't know. I haven't been particularly fond of Florida for most of my my living life, so I don't know. I feel like a culture shock would be kind of cool.
Arguments hoping to confuse the...
Plus, it's always sunny here, so maybe living in a place where it's like more cloudy and I never get to see the sun, that'd be nice.
This situation. Billy's lawyer honestly looked like a bumbling buffoon when he was trying to explain why Florida should have jurisdiction.
All right, the answer is yes, he was located in Ohio at the time, but for the purposes of committing a tort in Florida under the long-arm statute, if an intercept, and there's no reason to depart from Mozo in this particular instance, since intercept means that he intercepted the call, let's write that, since the law is such that where my client spoke means that the call was intercepted in Florida. In other words, under Mozo and under France and under the definitions of oral communication and other definitions in the statutes, basically Race intercepted the calls in Florida. It was enough to commit a tortious act in Florida. It is enough to state that the tort as alleged occurred in Florida, which is really all you need for 1B jurisdiction, or 1A2, excuse me. So.
In the end, the justices were not convinced, and ended up discharging jurisdiction, which means they didn't make a decision either way, and accepted the decision made by the District Court of Appeal. The Supreme Court opinion stated, in the end, while this case presents many interesting issues, we conclude those issues are largely academic in the context of the unique procedural history of this case. As a result, we exercise our discretion, discharge jurisdiction, and dismiss this proceeding. And that's it. It's over. After 3.5 years, David Reyes has finally won for good. For the past 3 years, I have heard Billy claim over and over that David illegally recorded his calls. He even declared this in his other lawsuits.
I can't stand people that, like Billy Mitchell, that constantly lose lawsuits, but they just like, they have like a bunch of money, so they're just, what do they call it? They call it he's very, I think it starts with an L. What's the word? He just kind of like sues any and everyone just because he has the money, and he kind of uses that as like a bullying tactic to go at people. Someone who sues, I forget what it's called. It starts with an L. Litigious. He's extremely litigious, yeah.
Why are you suing Mr. Race?
I'm suing him because he illegally recorded 27 phone calls between he and I.
But this was never true. It was always a lie. Perhaps now Billy will stop repeating this lie, but I'm really not getting my hopes up. Billy will of course try to sweep this under the rug, just like he always does when he loses a lawsuit. Don't expect an apology from Billy or an admission that this lawsuit was wrongly filed. In fact, if Billy had his way, he would never comment on this again, and everyone would simply forget it ever happened. That's what Billy wants. But I'm sorry, I just can't let that happen. On a more positive note, it really seems like Billy's legal crusade is coming to an end. All of his lawsuits have either been dismissed
Oh my goodness. Look at all those lawsuits. Wait, Billy Mitchell sued Cartoon Network? What did he sue Cartoon Network for? Oh my gosh. What a... Cartoon Network, Guinness, Twin Galaxies Florida, Twin Galaxies California, Pile Legend, Donkey Kong Forum, David Race, Jeremy Young, Carl Yopes. Ugh. All right, I got to see what he sued Cartoon Network for. Billy Mitchell, Cartoon Network. Why did Billy Mitchell sue Cartoon Network? In 2015, Mitchell filed a lawsuit against Cartoon Network saying that in the series' regular show, a character named Garrett Bobby Ferguson, who cheats at video games, infringed on his likeness. What? What in the world is happening? It's a regular show, Billy Mitchell. uh, so let's see. Okay, I mean it looks pretty it does look pretty Billy Mitchell. I guess it did it say he won that one or he lost that one? Oh, he got dismissed. Okay, for using his likeness. Interesting. Regular show is Peaks is Odin is salty. Landon says I love regular show. Absolute Peaks is Skylar. If only there was an adult version of it, it would be so good, says Odin. I don't know anything about regular show. I think I've heard of it.
Or settled. Note that Billy has never ever actually won. The only lawsuit Billy has remaining is the one against me. Am I really going to be the only person Billy wins against? Oh boy, wouldn't that just be hilarious. Thank you so much for watching, you legends. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next.
Alright, shout out Carl Yopst. The Yopes man. That was an interesting video. Shout out Tim for suggesting that video. That was actually very, very illuminating. I guess I'm happy finding out what Billy Mitchell's been up to over the last 10, 15 years. I haven't heard of him. Let's see. Oh, did you guys get to see, I think, The Last of Us? I actually haven't seen that. I think The Last of Us put out a new trailer for season 2, The Last of Us 2. I guess we can watch that and get a copyright claim thrown on my channel real quick. Who out there is excited for The Last of Us Season 2? I won't get into spoilers, but Last of Us 2, the video game, was interesting. I won't say why, but I'm very curious to see what happens here and what people think about what happens here. Because I loved season 1. Season 1 was great. But, yeah, season 2 was... sorry. The first season of the show was really good. Of course, the first video game was really good too. The second video game, in my personal opinion, was still a really good game. I think it was a really great game. It had a lot of the game mechanics, of course, were great. Had a lot of cool set pieces, moments. The world itself was beautiful and terrible at the same time. My big problem, as same with many people, with the second game, is the writing. I think the writing and some of the narrative decisions were kind of dumbfounding. I mean, I guess I think they did follow along with some of the themes and different things that were happening with the story, but just because they fit thematically didn't mean to me I thought they were a good or fun, but we'll see. I'm very curious if they follow along with the same thing. All right, I guess real quick, let's watch this. I kind of want to see what's going on here. Odin Salty says people were really upset with the casting of Ellie. It's kind of weird they care for the looks that much. The acting was fine overall from what I watched. Yeah, I thought the girl did really good in season 1. I mean, I don't have a. I'm kind of curious, like, because technically Ellie does age from the first one to the second one, so I think that this girl or lady, I should say, this young lady, she's already, you know, of full grown age. So I'm curious if she's gonna look any different. I mean, if she looks similar to the previous season, then yeah, I mean, it might be a little odd. Ellie was definitely different, you know, from the first game to the second game. But yeah, Ellie, she does look almost exactly the same. Forgot her name. Yeah, she's from Game of Thrones. Yeah, Odin is Salty says, I haven't played the games, but maybe if I get a PlayStation someday, I might give the games a try. Yeah, I heavily recommend the first game. I think the first game, for the time frame or generation it came out around, is one of the better games in my opinion from that, you know, PS3 era. I played them very recently. I think it was a year or two. I did them on stream. I played 1 and 2 back to back, and very good games. I enjoyed both. I definitely enjoyed 1 more than 2, but 2 had its moments. It was still a fairly entertaining game. Again, my problems with it were just writing and narrative wise, but if you can get past that, it's still a great game. But one in my opinion is by far. Okay, so yeah, Ellie looks almost exactly the same. So I'm still curious to see what happens. I'm very curious to see how everyone's reaction, everyone's opinions on it. I think that's going to be super. I think that might be more entertaining than the season itself, is seeing what the world's reaction is to things. Anywho, all right, so that is 2 topics. That's 2 things I wanted to cover. Does anybody else have anything that you guys think might be interesting to check out? Let me know. Boom, 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 boom. Throw it at me. What do you guys got? Something preferably recent. Something you think might be fun to check out. I guess I can start looking around. Bring it around town. Oh, Death Stranding showed a new trailer. I forgot about that. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Do, 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 do. Oh, I just remembered. Somebody did have a topic that they threw out. What was it? Apologize if someone doesn't like the topic that the video covers, but someone suggested me, because I didn't. Someone mentioned the name EDP. Hopefully, none of you know who EDP is. He's not a super great dude. Oh, Penguin Zero covered this situation. Oh, okay. I gotta see what's Moist Critical covers it. Yeah, terrible dude. And I actually don't know anything about him, so why not 3 years later? Let's watch a video and find out about EDP. If you don't know EDP, I don't know much about him. I know he was some sort of social media figure or something. Also did like YouTubes, and ended up getting in trouble for trying to meet up with an underage person, and I know Cupcake. That's all I know about him. So, hey, Robot Slayer himself says hello. Sorry for being late. No, you're all good, Robot. We've watched 2 videos so far. We watched a video by Carl Yopes talking about Billy Mitchell, which I thought was very interesting, and then we watched the trailer to the new Last of Us 2 season, and now we're gonna move on to to EDP. Hard cut from all that.
I'm sure by now many.
All right, so here's, maybe I won't watch this entire video. 30 minutes from Moist Critical. Goodness gracious. Moist really wanted to talk about this, huh? I'll be honest, I don't watch Moist too much, but every now and then I will check out. I do think Moist Critical makes good content. So shout out Penguin Zero, Moist Critical.
Many of you have at least heard
This
of
is
the
his
EDP
video.
445 situation.
Odin Salty says, I was disappointed when he got in trouble for that stuff. I really didn't want to believe he did that at the time, since I enjoyed some of his videos. You know, I think, you know, I feel like that's a fair viewpoint on some things. You know, I think a lot of us, you know, have like a content creator or celebrity or musician that we love that you don't want to think does some of the crazy stuff, but you know, eventually you turn around and you're, you know, you kind of have a different view on certain people being different. Robot Slayer himself says, "Wait, what happened?" You know what? No, we'll do. Actually, why did I do that? Wanted to hit the timer playback.
I'm sure by now many of you have at least heard of the EDP 445 situation. That sounds like some kind of fucking Call of Duty Zombies Easter egg, but for those that don't know, EDP 445 stands for Eat That Pussy. He was a big
Oh my
YouTuber,
gosh, I
had
forgot
huge
that's what that
online
stood for.
presence, and this week he was accused, and with a lot of evidence backing it, of being a pedophile. And with video evidence, him showing up to a meeting place where he believed he was meeting with a 13-year-old that was actually set up in very similar style to like a Chris Hansen investigation by a...
I almost forgot what Moist Critical's old house looked like. I forgot this was his setup before he became megastar. Robot Slayer himself said, "Oh, I thought he pulled an EDP." No. Moist Critical would never do that. I think we all have the utmost belief in Moist Critical that he's on the up and up.
YouTuber.
We all hope, at least, you know.
Predator poachers. That name actually is shared by other people who hunt predators, but today this was done by one person or one group in particular, and that person, the big face behind it, is not a good person at all. And that's why I wanted to do this little intro here, because I want to make it clear that there's no heroes in this story. You can't root for the person behind the investigation of EDP. They did a good thing, but they're a shit person. The main guy behind Predator Poacher has had a lot come out about him recently, showing his prank calls to a BLM hotline where he just says the N-word. He said the N-word, hard R, multiple times. Believes he's like an edgy troll, but his trolling is just saying the N-word. Epic prank. And
I feel like I should also say that, like, on my behalf, I don't like, Robot Slayer said, goodness, I panicked for a second there. Oh, I'm sorry, we gave you a jump scare about Moist Critical. Now, Moist Critical is just talking about EDP and what he was doing. But, I should say, I don't like this whole, kind of phenomena that's, like, super popular now of, regular folks going out and, kind of setting up sting operations on people. I mean, to me it just feels, I don't know about you guys, to me it feels icky. I mean, I've seen some of the videos of people that have set up like these fake sting operations, and then when they show up they just beat the crap out of the person, and it's like, to me it just feels icky. I'm not one that's like for like a vigilanteism or vigilante justice of that kind. Even though I'm not saying, I don't know. I think those people definitely deserve a punishment of some kind, but like the proper punishment, like a legal punishment. I don't know. It's a whole weird phenomena that's kind of going around. Like, yeah, that's like I saw one video of people surprising someone who, like, EDP was showing up looking for something like that, and then they ended up like punching him and knocking him down a couple times, and like you can clearly see that the person has like you know, they have a they're some sort of neurodivergent, you know, disability or something, and it's just like it's like, oh, now you got me feeling like, I don't know. Yeah, vigilante workers better in fiction, in my opinion, says robot. Yeah, I agree. Because then when you start doing that to the person, then you start making me feel bad for them, and I shouldn't be feeling bad for them because they were trying to do something terrible, you know. So it's like, I don't know. Actually, you should leave that up to the authorities, in my opinion.
And he's just not someone that I can really appreciate the work of. But he and his group were the ones that broke this story on EDP, who is a very bad person as well, who, with all of this evidence coming forward, which is pretty damning, have put together this whole case against EDP 445. And today I watched it all on Twitch, streamed it with
I certainly think.
so we could all
I
be
certainly
caught up
think
on.
if you can do a sting like this and have it be successful and stuff without you having to like harass and harm the person who's trying to do the bad thing, then great. You know, the only problem is that most of the time these people end up like ganging up and like punching the person that's doing the thing, and that makes, my opinion, that makes you a criminal as well. So it's like, I don't know, if you can do all this while being fairly cordial and just making them look bad, then okay, I'm fine. You know.
On the internet lore together. I've heard it's really bad. So yeah, the general gist of it, EDP 445, a huge YouTuber, very popular YouTuber. I personally wasn't super familiar with his work. I'd always heard his name though. Stands for Eat the Pussy 445. So this came out a day ago, which was to hype this up. I think this is only reading text messages, and this is when he actually showed up. This is the only thing I've seen. This guy has a fucked up past. Like, even on this channel, apparently some videos that are still up from streams where he'd call BLM and drop the N-word to them or something. Like, he'd call organizations supporting BLM and just start dropping the N-word or some shit. Like, this guy is not a good guy.
So everybody go subscribe.
And I will say, yeah, like he's saying, I don't know if he's talking about this guy or EDP, but EDP is like, even before he got in trouble with that thing, he was like not a fun, cool dude. Like, I've seen plenty of like short videos with him where he's like saying the most outlandish, outrageous thing, and it's like he already. I don't think, I'm just saying, I don't think anyone like me felt bad for his downfall. Like, whatever, screw that guy. You know, it was well deserved.
Right now. Go subscribe. And if you want to see the full chat messages.
I'm sorry to interrupt again. Another thing, the reason this video took so long for them to put out is because he wanted to wait for it to get full monetization. So that's why he kept hyping it up, and the reason why he kept pushing it back, because it wouldn't get full ads on it. So this guy's kind of a real piece of shit, if I'm being honest. Like, he does a good thing in the worst possible way.
And show interest.
Who starts a conversation like that?
You're old, so
what?
Better talk.
Dropped a mean ass shit. Man, they say fucking chivalry is dead. This guy is suave. Now that is how you flirt. That's a good line for Tinder, I'd say. If you guys need any help on like your game, take notes from EDP. Dropped a mean ass shit. And then send an audio message. Do I have to go to the other ones in order to... He sent a picture of his shit? No fucking... Alright, hold on. Does it... We're going to have to keep going back and forth. This is going to be like an MLA formatted fucking research paper here with citations. For these text messages, if I want to see them uncensored, do I have to go to this stream?
For more people to...
So do I have to like cross-reference the uncensored versions with the stream?
I really hope...
I can't show a picture of literal shit on Twitch, but I need to confirm whether or not he sent a shit.
Oh, thank you. I was really hoping Moist Critical was not going to show...
Just ordered some pizza about to fuck this shit up.
I was really like hoping... Like, I really hope Moist Critical doesn't show anything. Scarlet Twilight says 10 out of 10, not really. I'm not quite sure what you mean, Skylar. Oh, Odin Salty, I missed your chat. You said, oh yeah, I forgot the sting operation guys were crappy people too, lol. Not that but they should have contacted the police and work with the law and all that operation. That's what I mean. I 100% agree with you, Odin. Like I have a problem with people that do these sting operations and stuff, but if you're gonna do it, at least be fairly cordial starter, or not cordial, be fairly cordial. You know, don't attack them. Like, if you want to embarrass them and like record them and, you know, denigrate them, I guess, whatever. But like, it's when you start getting physical and start attacking people, that's when it's like Like, nah, you should. If you're gonna try stuff like this, you should be working in accordance with the law, in my opinion. That says, "What a weird convo starter." I know. Well, that's why I was saying, is this guy EDP, like, even before he got in trouble, he was not like a good guy. Like, he would say like crazy stuff.
Pizza sounds good. Hell yeah! I'm about to annihilate that shit. Okay. Oh! He sent a picture of his shit. Dropped a mean ass shit, and it's a full loaf. This man, he's sending shit pics. And that is not a healthy shit. That's very runny. There's no solid foundation of the stool. That is alarming, considering he just annihilated a pepperoni chicken pizza. He also sent his dick. Yeah, but that's not nearly as cool as a shit pic. EDP was breaking new grounds. They were only just starting to talk. It had been 2 days, I think. And then he hits her with, drop a mean ass shit, and then sends a picture of his toilet bowl with poopy in it. Yeah, I'd show the other video, but I'm worried of how many pictures of shit he might have sent. Like, what the fuck is this? Hi, how are you? Good, how are you? Good, just having lunch. What did you eat? Tacos. That's cool. What are you doing? Just got done beating my shit. Now watching YouTube. Oh, yeah, I just had some tacos. Also just beat the fuck out of my cock. What are you doing? Yeah, he sent the picture of his actual unedited shit. He didn't even put like a cute little emoji over it, so.
What a gentleman. Glad to know glad to know chivalry isn't dead and gone. I'm learning far more about EDP than I was hoping for. I don't know what I signed up for here.
So I'm a little concerned to show it. I think we're right here. How is this possible? I just went to a random point in here. How is the bathroom trip going? Going great. I'm fucking this bitch up. What the fuck? Are you sure he only sends one shit pic? Like, it seems like that's all they talked about was him shitting. I went a little too far. I skipped ahead in the lore. I was at 14 minutes, not 20. I accidentally spoiled chapter 2 here, it seems.
Other Salty says EDP sounds like he's saying some stuff dudes in a private group chat would say. Exactly. Yeah, it's... You know, EDP, it's like classic, like, kind of incel dialogue and personality. You know, he's somebody who, you know, I get a feeling only can talk with people of the male persuasion, you know, doesn't, I don't know, just uncomfortable, you know, uncomfortable in conversation.
I like this part. Relax, I'm not a weirdo or anything. When literally 5 days ago he sent a picture of his actual shit in a toilet. No, we're doing both videos. The only reason I'm going back and forth is because these are censored and I want to understand how we got here. He seemed bothered that she's 13, but then for some reason...
I am in full screen, sheesh.
Oh, okay, here we go. So he has like a realization here.
Yeah, EDP is somebody who, like, when he's talking to a girl, like, can't look them in the eyes. I guarantee you he's...
Not enough to go to jail over. Okay. So how does he continue to, like, fall for this, then? I was eating a corn dog today, and the bitch burned the roof of my mouth. I spit that shit out so fast.
Did that make you smile?
All right. Just a little PSA, don't take pictures like this. These kind of pics just never really work. It's just kind of a weird pic. Make sure you get some good flattering angles. You don't need to put, like, a ton of thought into it, but just enough to know where it doesn't look like you're crawling under someone's bed.
But to be honest, the person talking with him... But the person even talking to him is, like, very... odd. Is this the one that's a setup? Because this conversation, like, oh, where are you ticklish? That's a very odd question. Oh, that's so adorable. Ticklish little baby. Like, I mean, it's no wonder EDP got, you know, it's like, look, dude. Can he not, I don't know, this whole conversation on both sides seems
Everyone wants something
weird.
for me, and you want it. The easiest way would be to tickle me. Okay. I hope you don't tickle me, that's my weakness. If EDP was a boss battle, tickling would be his weak spot. That'd be your DPS phase. One of these days, I'm gonna surprise you, put my hands over your eyes and be like, guess who? That's like the worst surprise ever. That'd be like the last way I'd want to be introduced to somebody. Ugh, this is so fucking weird. Want your first kiss to be enjoyable. This really does remind me of To Catch a Predator, like the chat logs that they'd show. So he was like super into nibbling on her ear and being tickled and shit. Started talking about sex, and then here he had a realization like, that's fucking illegal and wrong and bad. And now we're caught up. No, we're not. Oh my god, this is still not it. Cute little fingers. Oh, how did this? Okay, what? How did this happen? Literally like 10 messages ago. He's like, this is bad. Can't do it. We can be friends. Cute fingers, by the way. So you want to have sex? I can go easy, of course. Wait. Nah, EDP doesn't go easy. He goes ultra nightmare mode. There's no slowing down there. Man's just a fucking machine. I honestly enjoy doing what my YouTube name says. Eating the pussy. Yeah. Munching down on those beef curtains, baby. Yeah, there you go, EDP. What's the 445? Just a random number I chose, nothing to the meaning. Definitely has meaning now. I think the 445 absolutely has meaning. The amount of years he'll spend in jail. Well, probably not. You guys, I didn't know this. I learned this the other day. You guys remember Jared Fogle, the guy who had like 15 quadrillion quadruple bytes?
Of course, everyone remembers
as
Jared
well as, like,
Fogle.
openly admitting to abusing kids. You know he only got 13 years in jail? Did you know that? I thought he got life imprisonment. This man had so much child porn they had to invent a new way of measuring how much he had. And he only got 13 years in jail. This had to be like a full-time job texting this guy.
Robot Slayer himself says, this is so distasteful to rewatch. I forgot how bad the messages were. Yeah, this is... I think this would be safe to say counts as a mega cringe, right? This is pretty... Again, it's like... It's cringe because, like, again, if it was only, like, EDP being weird and uncomfortable, it's like, okay, whatever, he's a weirdo. But, like, the person he's messaging also is just, like, weird. It's just... I don't know. It's odd. This is like watching some leaked Diddy clips or something. Like, you just realize how screwed up it is. Yeah, exactly. So, Odin.
Putting in 9 to 5 hours here on the text messenger. Can't wait to hug you and kiss you. On the lips.
I still don't know, is this person, like, real? Or is this the person that helped get him into trouble? I still don't... I'm assuming Moist is going to talk about that.
And I'd kiss and taste you down there. The vagina. The old vagina. Man, EDP really does just have a way with words. I love to kiss and lick the top of the foot. I love the toes, actually. Huh. So I can lick and suck your boobs. Pretty incredible. How does it feel? Pretty incredible, to be honest. The nipples get hard and really sensitive. I'm telling you, this is a lie. EDP went full fanfic here. He didn't fuck a school teacher. He didn't suckle on her nipples. This doesn't sound like anything a school teacher would say. I'm gonna know more about EDP's fucking life than his therapist does. There's
the way EDP is talking about his experience, it sounds very much like the you guys ever watch that movie 40-Year-Old Virgin, where Steve Carell's trying to explain what it feels like to touch boobs? he's like, oh yeah, you touch them, they feel like bags of sand. Classic movie.
So many text messages. For a virgin, the vagina is tight. Oh, here we go. Getting a health ed course from EDP, the man who just sent a picture of his shit.
Exactly.
Basically, when intercourse happens, the penis is stretching open the vagina and forcing those muscles to temporarily stretch apart from one another. That's where the pain comes from. Yes. She should have quizzed him. And what exactly does the potassium pump do in the body, EDP? You seem very knowledgeable on anatomy and physiology. Can you complete my homework? You used the wrong form of your, EDP. Some teacher you are. Your body is full of excitement and anticipation. You're wrong, you're again. Your body anticipating the sex. Poetic. Shakespearean, in fact. I also like roleplay. Hey, that's where you dress up and pretend.
Let me skip forward. Where's the part where EDP actually... Oh, okay. He gets into where he gets... I want to see him actually get into trouble.
What do you think about that? I like that conclusion, as if you just dropped the mic. Yes, I want to fuck your fucking butthole. I want to butt fuck your pussy. So what do you think? Will you invest in my company? Like it's Shark Tank? That's probably the face he made when he went to meet her in person, and it was just two dudes with a camera.
Oh, this is the person that got him in trouble.
That's like a YouTube shocked thumbnail. Of course, real vaginas don't produce lube. Is he a virgin? It's not like vaginas are just dry. It's not like sticking your cock into like sandpaper. Maybe he just means like it doesn't produce Astroglide or something, like a specific lube brand. Like they don't have like a... It's not like Spider-Man's webs, like in the Amazing Spider-Man, where you have to like put new web slingers in there for vaginal lube. But vaginas actually do get lubricated themselves. They're like a self-lubricating apparatus, really. Kiss your daddy goodnight. Sleep tight, princess.
These pictures that he keeps sending.
So this is when he finally started to believe this could all be a fucking setup. As if there wasn't an entire fucking 3 seasons of an extremely popular show all about this exact same thing.
So this is the person
being
setting
fully
him up.
aware of this very real possibility. Literally for like the 10,000th time in this conversation. Yeah, I guess every time he busted a nut, he started to realize this could all be fucking fake and a setup. But then after post-nut clarity faded away, he went right back to the, let me suck your fucking toes and take a shit.
He doesn't want to be... Let's go have a talk about all that right there. Okay.
Can we give him a lav mic so we get better audio? Let's really go in here. Put this on, EDP.
Coming out here to... Okay. Well, I was actually coming out here to pick up a cupcake and then go back home.
Oh, okay.
There was...
Do they sell cupcakes in this driveway?
Oh, okay, so... You should title the video.
Oh my goodness, the cringe here is...
I think that'll get a lot of hits EDP. I think so. Yeah.
Oh.
So this is you.
Good one. So he's got like a whole little
Okay, all right.
routine
So,
prepared.
What made you? So you initiated conversation with a 13-year-old, knowing she was 13. Yes or no? Correct. Okay. So is that a good?
That guy in the background's trying so hard to seem like he's not listening.
You've been exposed for this before.
Correct.
And you called them, but this is damning.
Right.
This is. I had to make sure myself. Do you recognize me?
No.
Okay. I had to make sure myself.
Well, that didn't really work. You don't have the Chris Hansen prestige yet. Do you know who I am? Nope.
Hilarious, man.
Okay, that hurt.
I appreciate it, man. What I don't understand, why are you attracted to like 13-year-olds? Like, why are you attracted to underage?
That's a good question, yes. Why do you like children?
In one of the
asking the hard-hitting questions.
You've always wanted to be with someone younger. Like you like cops. Right. Like,
Again,
what is in your head?
I don't like this whole like vigilanteism, you know, normal person going out of their way to set up people like this. I mean, I at least know the one good thing is that like this wasn't one of those like physical altercation type things. Like at least they kind of like were able to ruin him by just outing him and stuff. Like the one positive. Odin Sultan says the people that live in that area probably had to deal with people going there, just to reference this sting operation. Well, you could see before. You could see before right here. You could just see some lady sitting in a chair. She's just like, what? Cupcake? What?
You've been exposed for this before. Correct.
Okay, that hurt.
Where are the cupcakes at?
Why are you attracted to like 13-year-olds? Like, why are you attracted to underage?
That's a good question, yes. Why do you like children?
In one of the
asking the hard-hitting questions.
You've always wanted to be with someone.
She's just waiting on her Amazon package to show up, and she's got to
They
watch
should have rehearsed
EDP.
a little bit like what they want to ask.
What goes on?
So why are you a pedophile?
Loneliness, dude. I'll be completely honest with you.
Do what Chris Hansen does. He does a really good job with interviews.
Let me, because we're not like that. We're not like that. We're not attracted to minors. Bro, come on, man. You know exactly what ugly is, dude. Right? No, we're attracted to female our own age, dude. Let this be known. Let this be known. I am not. So what are you? What are you? If you're here to hit up a 13-year-old girl after sending.
He hit it up like it was a catchphrase. Hey, not a pedophile.
A guy that is. But we can't forward this to cops because most definitely this is not your first time either, right? Right. This is absolutely.
Whoa.
This actually is my first time. You just said it wasn't your first time.
Yeah, that was a bit rough on that one, EDP.
First time was.
You've done this before, yes. But I mean, no, though.
Right? Yeah. So now, as far as the whole fantasy goes, you know what I mean? Let's be real, okay? You know what I mean?
Like, what does that mean? Stop saying you know what I mean.
Fantasies, that's what I mean.
Okay, so I'm not calling you the P word if you know what I'm talking.
Look at these screenshots.
I'm not calling you the P word.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Do you fantasize about?
Robot Slayer himself says wouldn't be far-fetched if that spot became a tourist attraction. They just like put up a little sign next to it that says EDP and his cupcakes were here.
Females under the age of 16, yes or no?
Or it's just a sign that just shows a cupcake. That'd be more interesting.
Okay.
Holy shit. This is fucking rough. Holy shit.
I know, but you said earlier it was your first time.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So we'll get to that. So you said 13 is a fantasy.
Odin Assaulton says Odin Assaulton. I think that's the second time I've done that. Odin is salty. I think there was an episode of To Catch a Predator where they were going to go in someone's house and the pedo ended up ending himself on camera. What?
18. I think there's hot 18-year-olds.
That's terrible.
17-year-old, but there's hot 17-year-olds. But I don't go when I see a 17-year-old. I'm just like, I can't do it. Like, it's just not right.
What are you going on about?
Maybe about 7 months ago.
This is just an extremely long confession. He's not fighting any of this.
What was it that made you realize?
Holy shit.
For example, it's a bad analogy. You know, like if there's a hot 19-year-old into me, I'm like, oh, awesome. But if there's like,
yeah, this guy, in my opinion, this guy doing this to him is also not equipped for this moment. He's kind of just rambling on as well, making weird. He's also having a weird convo. Robot Slayer himself said, "Didn't they go after a YouTuber? They've done that. They've done that plenty of times."
Jesus Christ.
There's that one YouTuber named Vitaly who is like, he's also straight up just a criminal in my opinion as well. But there's an entire saga with that guy Vitaly who has his own, vigilante, you know, pedo group or whatever that he sets up people, and Yeah, very, very odd. There's also a pizza place that kept having people bothering them because of pedo off? Ordered pizza from...
So,
What the heck?
so what makes it okay for you to come here?
It doesn't make sense. I'm just being honest. The screenshot, of course, I did. But like, why would you send it to a 13-year-old? Like, and that just proves that you were turned on by it.
Well, he said that a million times. We know that.
Because you were hard when you were doing. Obviously, yes or no. So
He said that millions of times. I read it. I felt like I knew his cock pretty well by the end of those messages.
Honestly,
Chris Hansen did it very well. Chris Hansen was a beautiful.
And not to like, again, not trying to help EDP here, but like, in my opinion, the smart thing to do if you're being a freaking weirdo and you got busted doing this thing, like obviously, in my opinion, the best thing to do is to ask if they're cops. Like, that's always the first thing you should do, is ask someone. If they don't look like they're a cop, you ask them if they're a cop. And if they say no, then that means you have no lawful reason to stick around and talk to them. Like, all of this stuff he's doing is just incriminating him, which of course is like, okay, cool, whatever. I don't care about you. You're a weirdo, but like, yeah, like I said, that's always the first question. Are you a cop? If it's like, even if it's a cop that's like off the clock, what do they call it? I don't know. It's just, if someone's not wearing a uniform and they're trying to stop you and infringe on you from doing something, always ask, are you a cop?
Weapon against pedophiles.
Ask for officer. Ask to see their badge.
The only reason this video even surfaced is because they were finally able to get full ads.
They say no, like these people are just wearing T-shirts. Like he could easily just walk away, and these people would get in trouble if they tried to stop him. You know what I mean?
This one seems staged. Okay, I can tell you this one is definitely not staged because his entire YouTube career has ended. This one is definitely not one of those fake ones. I can assure you of that. Like, even the interview it's not even an interview. The questions are, so you're a pedophile? Why? I also like hot girls, but if they're 17, it's like, they're hot, but you know I can't do that. It's like, what are you fucking talking about? Like, you should have just taken Chris Hansen's script. You know, not this. Did they call the cops? That's what I don't know. Like, I don't know if they even get law enforcement involved. If you take their word for it, they do, but I don't know. I don't know enough about them, so I couldn't tell you yes or no. I would hope.
And I hate to say it, but like, in my opinion, you could also make the argument that people that do like these guys that are putting on this sting, in my opinion, you could also make the argument that they're kind of just doing this for content or for clout or something, because it's like, sure this one may have worked out where they were able to actually ruin EDP, which, you know, this is probably one of the few times where I've seen one of these sting operations actually like work out, like Moist is saying, where like they actually ruined his career and he actually like, he's like not popular anymore. But like, for the most part, I doubt these type of things work, and it's like, it just kind of comes off as you wanting content during it, which is such a weird way to go about trying to grow your YouTube channel. I don't know.
So, like, if they went through all this effort, did a full investigation, and didn't give it to authorities, they should also be at some level responsible for like endangering minors to allow someone like that to continue doing their shit. So I would think that it would go to law enforcement at some point.
But this isn't the first minor you've talked to before, correct? Right. And there was more than one minor.
Holy shit.
Last summer, I've had all these females reach out to me about you, and you know, at first I was like, okay, attention. Honestly, I was. But then I see more and more and more, and I see you saying, if anybody finds out about this, you're
oh, what a good way of looking at that. Hey, I was manipulated and abused by this guy. Attention, whore.
Park number of how many minors you talked to. Like, you know, obviously it's been 5. So after 5, what would you say the number is? 6. 6 minors. Name them.
6. Holy shit.
There's
Is he just making this up? Because he's like actively making everything worse. I feel like he's just making up names.
Dude, like, real talk, man.
Obviously you didn't go what the F because you're talking to a 13-year-old. I believe you did know right before you
This is unreal.
What the cameo? I believe. Oh, you the cameo one, right? The one where you talked about the boyfriend hit you up for the cameo.
Thanks the prime, Matt.
Probably 14, maybe 15. I'm not sure. But that was number 2.
Seeing this really makes me appreciate Chris Hansen's work even more. I guess I never even stopped to consider how hard it must be to do something like this. This is so long for no reason. They're saying nothing. They're not actually interviewing him.
Alright, I'm kind of curious. Does anything else happen here? Alright, it seems like that's... I think I've had all I need. I know I've taken away everything I need to get from this. Yeah, essentially, like, again, this whole thing, like, luckily this is one of the few situations that didn't get physical, nobody got hurt, but still the person that was in question kind of still got a punishment of sort. Like, his whole career kind of got ruined by this. So this, again, this is fine, whatever. All right, anyone have anything else? I think I've got enough of, I've had enough of EDP, and that's that. Gosh, that was mega cringe, that whole situation. There's a funny animation of Chris Hansen trapping Crazy Frog. Okay. Let's see that. Chris Hansen, Crazy Frog. Who's this by? Silly Incorporated. Bum, 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 bum.
Hi, come in. Help yourself to some pizza. I left it on the table.
Pizza? Can I have a slice? Do you mind taking a seat right here, Crazy Frog? Now, Crazy Frog, I have the chat logs between you and what you believe was a 13-year-old boy. Now, Crazy Frog, you wrote ring ding 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 ding
Ring
ding
ding
along
ding
with
ding
sending
ding
this
ding
inappropriate
ding
image.
ding 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 ding.
Do you think this is the type of stuff that's appropriate to send to what you believe was a child? What exactly drives a frog of your status to do this? What were your intentions here? I'm afraid this is the part of the segment where I have to announce that I'm Chris Hansen and you are on To Catch a Predator on NBC. Now, Crazy Frog? Crazy Frog? No. Crazy Frog, I wouldn't recommend that.
What's going on? Leroy Crazy Frog, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to attorney. Court attorney, it's paper. Okay. Stop fighting me, Mr. Frog.
He's loose. He's loose. He's loose. Trying to escape on an invisible motorcycle. Do we have visual on air? We see the suspect. He's headed north. This is
The heck?
Suspect is heading north. Crazy Frog, pull over. Pull over. You don't want to do this, Crazy Frog. Pull over, Crazy Frog, now.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that was interesting. Ring ding 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 ring ding 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 ding. Alright, what's another one? Let's see what Meat Canyon has. I haven't seen anything from Meat Canyon recently. Bum, 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 bum. Meat Canyon has one about the Costco guys. It also has one about Talk Tua. Bum, 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 bum. I kind of want to see what he has to say about Hawk Tua Girl.
What about fart to fart on that thing?
Squirt to right, girls. Squirt to
My upstairs neighbor began listening to the Talk to a podcast. Well, I should say he was watching it. He started watching it 2 months ago. He seemed to mock it at first, mumbling to himself.
No. It's so dumb.
I didn't pay much attention to it. Things felt so normal then. It wasn't until that night he knocked on my door. He raised his head along with his phone to look at me, a crazed look in his eye, accompanied with a sticky, wet smile.
The frick?
He was showing me the podcast he was watching earlier.
You gotta check out this podcast.
Why do you think
The joke
people
is so
like that
funny.
so much? I wish I knew.
Multi-layered.
How could you?
I can't recommend it enough.
Oh, Hawk Tua thing? It's just the dick-sucking joke,
He also released music performances owed to Salty. Yeah, I did see the music one.
She saw through me.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
I could see my soul leave my body.
Hawk Tua.
You are lost, but can
Spill from your mouth the essence of truth, and it will set you free. Let it spill forth. Fill your chalice with truth. You could see his obsession.
It's so funny.
But it was just a joke.
What did I tell
Right?
you?
A leak from upstairs began to drip into my apartment. I tried to talk to him about it, but he would never answer his door, only laughing with the podcast blaring at all times of day.
Looks like Rottweiler's jowls dribbling down.
Out of some morbid curiosity, I tried watching the show. But I didn't understand. I couldn't understand. Was it the joke? Was it the girl? Where was the root of his obsession? There was nothing.
Dog tour. Cat meow tour. Meow tour is kind of interesting.
Because that's also about pussy. But not about the lady kind, more about the little fur baby kind. I don't want kids, though, because I think that the world's a corrupt place and it makes me afraid. I really don't want to bring another conscious living being into this hellscape we call it Earth. What do? Hop to a spit on that thing. I don't like Mike Tyson's face.
What in the
tattoo. It
world?
scares me.
One day, the laughing stopped. Surely there had to be some reason.
Instead of always tired on his cheeks, I wish it said hot Tua. How much you think I gotta pay him to put spit on that thing? Tattooed somewhere if there's any skin left on that beautiful. Oh!
What in the world?
Oh God!
Spit on that thing.
Oh God! Oh God! Yeah, my dad didn't like the Hawk Tua meme, but I
must admit,
Hawk Tua!
the show does hook you pretty fast.
That thing already.
It's not just a one-dimensional joke. It's truly very moving. So funny.
Oh, good golly. I'm from the South.
So stupid. What was the other one that did you ever see Casey O clips? Those are videos hilarious. I've watched a little bit of Queso. Queso or Casey-O? He's alright. Oh, the Costco guys.
Costco
guys! Of course we go shopping while eating a chicken bake!
We're Costco guys. Of course we have to try the new double chunk chocolate cookie.
That was great, Dad! I love Costco! I'm gonna try and work here when I'm older! Get an even better discount!
You know we live for the discount, son. I gotta show you something new Costco has. It's way in the back.
Sure! What is it?
You'll find out, son.
Oh, wow! I've never been back here for... Oh no! What is this?
All right, so you're giving away one child. Yeah, one kid. Okay, that upgrades your membership card for another 10% on cash rebates. There you go.
Oh, yeah. That's a boo, baby. Oh, yeah. Hold on. No, lift with your leg.
What is this? Daddy!
Sit it down.
Daddy!
Long day. Now move this child over here.
Dad, help me! Oh, God!
Skylar said apparently Johnny Somali might plead guilty with a potential 5-year sentence in South Korea. Thank goodness. Johnny Somali might actually get in trouble for something. Holy cow. Like, if you guys know anything about Johnny Somali and that whole American YouTubers abroad getting in trouble for doing dumb crap, like, thank goodness one of those people is going to get in trouble for something. Like, that's the kind of stuff that, like, Logan Paul and them were doing, like, decades ago and never gotten any trouble for, which I actually do think Logan Paul, the one that, like, if you ever saw his what is it, the Suicide Forest video in Japan, like how he was allowed to go over there and do some of that stuff was crazy. And then he recently, him and Jake did a video of them in Italy doing dumb stuff, which luckily I think they finally got banned from Italy or France or something. So, like, I'm telling you, man, people that go abroad and do dumb stuff and, like, mock other, it's essentially mocking other cultures when you're doing that stuff. Like the whole thing Logan Paul was doing in Japan, it's a 100% a mockery of, like, a city full of, like, nice, or, you know, for the most part, nice people who, like, don't know how to react to what's happening, in my opinion.
Veo algunos hombres. Creo que nos están apuntando. Quizás nosotros somos los siguientes. No dejaré que te lleven, te lo prometo. I don't speak Spanish. I don't know what you're saying. Everything will be okay. Alejate, alejate, no te acerques. No, 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 no.
You need to believe he Costco Kid has seen, though.
Hey! Help me! Help! Help! Hey! No! No!
Ini seharusnya ketiga. Menurutku ini dia.
Oh Tuhan, lihatlah dia. Babi kecil ini terlihat seperti sudah mati.
Dia akan baik-baik saja. Kita akan melatihnya dengan baik.
Jangan malas-malasan. Balik kerja. Mas, sini kacanya. Sekarang cepat. Kita harus penuhi kuota.
In the world.
Hei Ahmad, kamu harus kesini. Ini sangat lucu. Lihat seberapa besar kue ini.
Oh, kuenya besar banget ya.
He replaced him.
Lihat, gimana tuh sama dia?
Ya ampun, ada apa dengan yang kecil itu?
Lucu banget ini orang.
He got replaced by the Rizzler. That's stupid. Alright, what was another one someone mentioned? Oh, let's see if there's any update. I would like to know more about this Johnny Somali. Maybe this will be the last video we check out. Let's see, Osman Gold does a video on him. Oh, Penguin Zero. Okay, we'll check out another Penguin Zero video. Okay. Maybe this will be the last video we check out today. Maybe we'll do another stream. Hold on. After this. I'm a sucker for Pokemon Snap music.
Year sentence is a joke. I mean, 5 years is no joke, but he's also not done getting all of his charges. So 5 years is the appetizer. I see you've looked at a little bit on the case, but not enough. Okay, Johnny Somali, he's that nuisance streamer that I've covered for quite a while. He's the guy that does like the world tour of getting his ass beaten. So he goes to a different place pretty frequently, and when he's there, he does his absolute best to harass people, break laws, and just be like the most insufferable piece of shit imaginable. And it usually ends with his face on the floor or his face in somebody's asshole. And he's been doing this for a while. He got arrested in Japan, but they gave him a slap on the wrist. He lied to them, left the country, started shit-talking them. He's been everywhere. But what's most important is, he went to Korea, and he started doing the same shit.
Otis Salta says that meme of the Rizzler turning around like a mob boss was hilarious.
They even had like a UAV on this guy where they tracked him in order to find him so they could continue to beat his ass so he would not know a minute of peace. It was beautiful. It was an amazing thing. And he got charged with some very serious stuff. And he just went to his first trial today, and it went really, really bad for him.
The Americans had better not try and get this guy back, wherever, whatever country he's from.
Kind of just to like see how it all goes and also just relish in the justice that he's finally about to be faced with. According to Atozi, he showed up dreadfully hungover because I guess last night he went live doing shots for donations, and he got super fucking plastered and, like, I don't know, puking his brains out or something. Then he went to trial, was extremely late, and he went there with a huge smile on his face, got hit with very serious charges carrying many years of prison time, and then the reality swept in. And then there was no smiles left. And this isn't even all of his charges. Today was only some of his charges, and he's already looking at least 5 to 10. He pled guilty as well. So it's not looking really good for the Wonder Boy, Johnny Somali. Oh, another thing is, he was wearing a hat, and many times he was told to take it off. He would take off the hat and then put it back on, and get told to do it, like, take it off again. So he was just being extremely disrespectful in the court.
Scarlet Twilight said, just found something on Twitter that has to do with H3H3 Productions. I actually know everything about what's going on with the H3H3 thing, just because I follow their podcast. So I might not check that out tonight. That's actually a really... Maybe next stream we could do that. That's like a really in-depth, long-term thing that's been going on with... I think that's between H3H3 and Hassan, and that's all between Reddit and Twitch. That's a whole... I think you could do a whole episode. I could do a whole episode of just talking about whatever's going on there. I won't do that to now. Because I kind of want to do another stream after this. So, didn't America trade the Merchant of Death or something to get a basketball player?
Apparently,
I don't know.
Everything that
Are you talking about Brittany Griner or something?
He
Was
also
that
didn't
the
have
basketball
a suit,
player you're
so
talking
he had
about?
to borrow a suit that was like 12 sizes too big. It's comical. It's like me wearing my 6'5" dad's suit. He said this is basically what he looked like in that suit. Has he come to America? No, he's still in Korea facing trial for all of his crimes. It's going to be many years before he comes back to America. It's looking like, thank God. He's most likely going to end up locked away in a foreign prison with an entire country that hates him. If he thought the ass-beating global tour was bad before, wait until he gets it in a slammer. Holy. Everyone in Korea hates him. And yeah, here's Legal Mindset where he was giving his perspective on it. He was also in the Atozi stream as well. He pled guilty to obstruction of business and 2 counts of violating the Minor Crimes Act, which, according to Legal Mindset, is basically like the equivalent of misdemeanors over there. But they take it very seriously, so even with just these, which seem like, not like, they don't seem like crazy charges that someone would be, fucking thrown into the gulag for, but he's still facing 5 to 10 years for it. For just these that he pled guilty to. And he still has more on the way. Oh yeah, he had no idea about the additional obstruction of business charge which was filed against him. That's the one he's going back for in April.
But yeah, Skylar, if you want to know like the short and sweet of what's happening with H3H3 is I believe recently he thinks that what is her name's Denims, another YouTuber who's tied to Hassan and to I think he has a big battle or he's getting ready to drop a lawsuit against Reddit. Who is it? The Reddit it's the Snark Reddit for H3H3 or something like that. And I think recently, just the other day, they had CPS, Child Protective Services. Someone tried to call that on him and his wife and his kids, talking about made some outrageous accusation that they were like harming their kids because of their dogs or something. So, which is really messed up. I mean, it's like, really, you're gonna try and mess with people and their kids. I don't know. That's a whole entire video. Maybe next stream, maybe ChazmaN stream, we can look into that. But yeah, that's a whole saga between what's her name, Denims, Hassan, Piker, Twitch, Reddit. That's a whole entire thing on its own. Oh, this all this is. I saw a clip of H3H3 saying something about women, and you can see Filthy Frank in the background, visibly worried about what he said. You gotta say something messed up like that to get Frank like that. Yeah, that's a really old clip. That's from like gosh, I mean, just the fact that it was Filthy Frank. I mean, I'm not just dismissing it, but yeah, it was. I don't know. I didn't think that was that worrying. It was that was that big of a problem. It's Filthy Frank, man, crazy. I used to. I'm so weirded out by the whole situation with Joji and Filthy Frank. Like, just to think I was like such a huge fan of him, and for him just to like totally disappear. He like, as far as I know, Filthy Frank hates his old YouTube career so much. He like tells people not to call him Filthy Frank. Like he hates it apparently, which who knows what he's even up to. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm as someone who was a big Filthy Frank fan, like it's so weird. I don't know whether to like be happy or feel bad for him because of the whole medical issues thing. You know what I mean? The whole he was like dropped out of Filthy Frank 'cause he talked about how bad for it was him. Then he went on to have a fairly successful music career, but even that, like, I don't know if it's I'm guessing it's the medical stuff that even prevents him from doing anything with that now. So it's like, I don't know. That dude, I mean, I'll be fair, I'll be honest. A lot of my, like, those people from that group I used to watch are like, same thing with iDubbbz. iDubbbz I used to be a huge fan of. That dude is like, I don't know. They've kind of gone off the deep end a little bit for me. And I would say the only people I'm still attached to from, because I used to watch Max Mofo, iDubbbz, Filthy Frank, H3H3. I used to be a big fan of like all those guys, and I still am a fan of H3, but that's one of the few ones that like I still watch. Like, does Max Mofo even make content anymore? Like, what does Max Mofo even do? Max Mofo. Robot Sarah says I completely forgot about iDubbbz. Yeah, he iDubbbz case is weird. Like, Odin Salty said he's probably just wanted to be seen as more mature now. The Filthy Frank stuff probably reminds him of bad times or something. Yeah, I mean, I understand, and also I also think I have the right to not like it. Like, I understand it, but I don't like it. Part of me, I don't mean to get emotional or anything like that, or sensitive about it. Part of me halfway feels kind of uh what's the word I'm thinking of? I don't want to say insulted. That's a bit, but like part of me is a little sensitive about the idea of like me being attached to this person and their content, and then for them to turn around later on and be like, I want to forget all that. I don't want anything to do with it, while like I really enjoyed the content. Part of me is like a little, I don't want to say, yeah, a little bit insulted by that. It's like okay, so you're saying that like like just because it was a bad time for you doesn't mean that I didn't enjoy the content. Like that was, you know, I don't know. It's a weird thing. Robot Slayer himself said, "Oh yeah, the iDubbbz thing. iDubbbz is he just got weird, man. He just like, don't get me wrong. Like a lot of that content and the stuff those guys were all involved in. Was it PG? No, it was not PG content. Not meant for young people. Probably not meant for older people. And I understand not looking back super favorably on some of that stuff. I can see it as someone's viewing it as being an immature time for them, but it's like, I don't know. iDubbbz he almost like overcompensated by how much he apologized. He went through like a whole thing where he was apologizing far too much for some of the stuff he was doing, where it's like okay, I would respect, Filthy Frank or iDubbbz now being like, yeah, it wasn't my favorite time, and I regret a couple things here and here, but like some of those guys, like iDubbbz was like just overly apologetic about everything. He did like an entire video where he probably said sorry like 50 times, and they're crying in the videos. It's like, come on. I don't know. Odin Salty says, oh yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, it bums me out, but I understand that he probably does it for himself and stuff. Yeah. Again, I wouldn't have a problem with it if if Filthy Frank, or he doesn't even like being called Filthy Frank now. So technically me saying that probably is something he would hate. I think he's literally gotten mad at people who come up and say, hey Frank, and he gets all pissed off. But it's like, again, I wouldn't have a problem if they were just like, yeah, I'm not that way anymore, and that's in the past. That's fine. That's fine, But I think coming out and like publicly getting mad at your former fans for enjoying the content is like, I don't know. I think it's a little crappy. Like, I've seen videos of him. I think he has gotten mad because people have shown up to his Joji concerts dressed up as Pink Guy or stuff, and he like visibly is like upset. And I know he's like texted other content creators and been like, "Stop calling me Frank," and it's like whatever, Frank. But yeah, all right, sorry. I got distracted.
His lawyer also didn't know. Oh, and here we go. Looks like they have the footage of when he was streaming hours before being supposed to show up to court and then being really late.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I will overall say, like, even though that whole time is long gone, I still love iDubbbz, Filthy Frank, H3, all that whole crew, Max Mofo. I wish the best for all those guys, and even if some of them have turned me off, you know, to them now, it's like, whatever. I'm not somebody that's like, I'm not one of those crazy people who just because I don't like somebody, I'm not on social media at all. I'm not on YouTube commenting dumb stuff on any of their old videos. Like, if I don't like somebody, I just don't watch them. So it's like, I haven't watched an iDubbbz video since he was doing the, what was it, the unpacking videos? I don't even know if I seriously doubt he still does those. He was doing videos where people would mail him boxes of random stuff and he would open them on stream and make jokes and do stupid stuff. Like, those were funny. I even like those videos. But I don't know. Whatever. Respect to those guys. I wish them all the best.
Look at how happy he is just moments before faced with many years in jail. Oh my god. Johnny, hey Johnny!
Live on Party. Locking in with Party.com. Got the deal in the works, man.
Robot Slayer himself says, I watched him when he did Content Cop. Oh my gosh. I used to love the Content Cop videos from iDubbbz. Those used to be so good. I used to love the opening song. What was it? What we do is go back, 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 back. Boom, bam. Boom, boom. What's that song? Now I kind of want to hear that. What we do is go back, back, back. iDubbbz Content Cop intro music.
What we do here is go back, 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 back.
Blah. What we do here is go back. Alright, you get it. Content Cop. I'm weird. I used to watch dumb stuff, I know. What we do here is go back, back, back. The video he did on Keemstar was so freaking funny. Good times. Dude, between iDubbbz, H3, and Filthy Frank, they used to make the best videos. Those videos were so funny. I wonder what they'd be like now to go back and watch them, but good times.
Hey, shout out. That deal is going to go through, no doubt, Johnny. Those party streams in prison with making Bruno and the...
That really was a crazy time for YouTube. Like, the fact that those three creators were doing that stuff was like kind of like, some of that content was kind of insane in my opinion.
The toilets is going to be ballistic, no doubt, brother. You will never see him without a black eye. He's going to be constantly just bruised and bloody, like, hey, back. Oh, what a fucking hero. I can't believe his first day in court didn't go well. It's so weird. He was prepped perfectly.
All right, I guess I don't really care about Johnny Somali. Good. I hope hopefully he goes to jail and stays there for a couple years. Who cares? All right, everybody. Well, real quick, let's shout out to who we had in chat for today. This was fun. I'm starting to enjoy these live sessions with you guys more and more each stream. These are fun, kind of more relaxing. I get to kind of talk about some of the stuff that, if you don't know, this is the stuff in the background of ChazmaN that I've always liked watching. I like these stupid drama stuff. I don't get sensitive about any of it. I I enjoy it all. So real quick, we had Phantom Fox and Skylar Twilight. Thank you so much, y'all. We had Landon and Odin is Salty. Thank you so much, you two. We had Electro Pirate. Thank you so much, Electro. Odin is Salty. Thank you so much, Odin. Robot Slayer himself. I don't know if I said robot. It's Mario Day, says Skylar. Oh, happy Mario Day. That's right, March 10th. There you go. Yeah, happy Mario. Let's go. Here, let me change the song before I head out. Ba, 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 ba. Do I have any Mario music? Ba, 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 ba. LOL, get it? Because March 10th? Yeah, Mar-E-O. I gotcha. Alright, let's see. Odin Salty says the Filthy Frank video he did on Facebook with the Mark Zuckerberg robot was pretty funny. Also, the loser reads hater comments. I used to love those videos. Says yeah, from Odin. Loser reads hater comments. Those videos were so funny. I will again. There's almost nothing you can repeat from some of those videos. I know it's probably not a popular thing to say, but like, I for one don't mind raunchy, outrageous content and comedy in that part. I enjoy stuff like that if I don't think that the person making that content actually believes any of that. And I think that's super important for comedy or for a content creator. Like, if you're gonna make outrageous stuff like that, like, I even think like racist jokes can be fine for a comedian or something. And you know, in a setting where like, if I'm there and I don't think you actually believe it, then that makes the joke funny. And sure, I think it's all in good fun. But the one thing I think you can't do as a comedian or a content creator is let people know that you actually believe it. That's the hard part. You know what I mean? Because then once you think that someone actually believes something that they're saying, then it stops becoming a joke and it starts becoming an opinion. In my opinion. So I don't know. I never got the sense that like H3 or iDubbbz or Filthy Frank or Max Mofo, I never got the sense that any of them were like bad people, even though they made crazy, ridiculous content and said ridiculous things. So that's why it's like, I mean, I guess there's no way for me to have known that at the time, but it's, I don't know. That's my opinion. I don't know. Maybe I'm giving myself leeway to enjoy stuff like that. Robot Slayer says, I agree. Jokes land can be funny, like South Park. Yes. Again, South Park is somebody that, in my opinion, has been able to get away with making jokes and stuff like that for 20, 30 years. Why? Because they don't actually believe any of that stuff, and it's all just humor. You know what I mean? Humor, and I don't. And again, people like me are willing to give them leeway with those jokes because it's like, you know, you can make that joke because you don't actually believe it. But if it's coming from somebody that I know actually believes it, then it's not a joke. You know what I mean? I don't know. Alright, real quick, before we head on out, I will say, I'm not going to end my stream here tonight. Do I have time to do another stream? Alright, you know what? I was going to do a stream after this. I don't think I am now. It's already getting a little late. But I am going to stream tomorrow anyways, and we're going to play more of Infamous. So tomorrow we'll finish Infamous. I was thinking about trying to do a second stream after this, but we're kind of running longer than I thought I was going to. Maybe I'll get some good rest here tonight. Maybe I'll do another YouTube short. Real quick, to my Patreon backers, to Electropirate, Darren, Skylar Twilight, Tim, and Phantom Fox, thank you so much, y'all, for your contributions. Really appreciate it. And then, of course, there's the Patreon, the socials, and the Discord up there for anyone interested. So this was fun, guys. I'm telling you, I'm having more fun each time we do one of these, and I think it's getting easier for me to kind of figure out. I just feel like I need to go into these kind of knowing what I want to do, what we're going to talk about. All right, so yeah, once again, I'm not going to do a stream after this, so tune in tomorrow night, and we'll play some more Infamous. Yeah, we'll knock out Infamous. I think we'll be done in a couple hours with that game, and we'll figure out what we're going to play next. If you guys can't tell on stream now, again, I recently, just today, gained monetization. I became a YouTube partner. So anybody out there wants to support anything or contribute, donate, that's on there now on the stream, which is kind of cool. Also, I will say, throw some ideas my way, because I'm not going to do it immediately, but there is another membership bonus I've seen that I can do where I can make streams that aren't public or something like that. Not saying I'm going to do those soon. That's something I'm going to push down the line, but I would like, throw ideas my way of stuff you might want to see me do or talk about on the side. Might be kind of fun. Alright, anyways. Let's go YouTube partners, says Skylar, yep. But happy Mario Day, everybody. Oh, I forgot about one thing left to talk about. Let me bring it up here while it's on my mind before we head on out. Ba, ba, ba. Ba, 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 ba. Da, 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 da. I did forget. Let's watch one more video before we head on out. I already did my closings. If you haven't seen, one of my Toonami heroes passed away just the other day. So shout out to the great George Lowe. If you guys
visit from Space Ghost.
The Dole Substitute Amendment to H.R. 956, the Product Liability Act, is the pending question. Why are you showing that? Quorum call. Quorum call. Thank you. Now Space Ghost will make a couple of adjustments here.
We're on the floor of the National Cable Television Association convention, and you are, sir?
I am Space Ghost, Citizen Bruce.
And what planet are you from?
I come from the Ghost Planet, a.k.a. Cartoon Network.
And what special powers do you have, if any?
I can become invisible, I can fly, and I bake one heck of an apple brown Betty.
And Space Ghost.
We're enjoying a laugh now,
yes,
aren't we,
we are. How do you serve humanity?
How do I serve humanity? Well, I usually prefer to serve humanity steaming hot, right out of the kitchen, because it's no good if it's cold.
Would you regard yourself as a superhero?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Think of me as Walter Mondale with super strength.
How do you compare yourself to your colleagues in the business, such as, for example, Superman or Batman?
Well, you know, Superman got that groin pull a couple of years ago. Very, very difficult, very painful.
Alright, yeah, if you guys don't know who Rob Lowe is, maybe Space Ghost Coast to Coast is before a couple of your times. But Rob Lowe was the iconic voice actor of Space Ghost. If you don't know who that is, it's this cartoon character from the late 90s, early 2000s, whenever Space Ghost started on Adult Swim.
Yes, it is. I hope it is not the last.
What do you mean by it?
Can I come back to that?
Sure.
George Lowe, the voice behind Space Ghost Coast to Coast, has died. He was 67 years old. Friends reported he was suffering from health issues in recent years, but for now, no cause of death details are confirmed.
Being a ghost, does that mean that that you have lived in a previous life?
Before this one.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that. I hope the same thing happens to me.
What thing?
I would like to live in another dimension.
We would all like to do something, David.
A writer and actor for decades, George is best known for his 90s spin on the classic cartoon character.
What do you think of that?
That's neat. Kind of like Vegas.
I love you, guest.
Have you seen the show, Survivor? Space Ghost?
Yeah, a bunch of guys killing each other.
Well, it's a mixture of guys and girls.
Dancing around killing each other.
Alright, everyone. That was Space Ghost Coast to Coast. One of my favorite shows. One of the shows that introduced me to that, like, Adult Swim, Adult Time cartoon type thing. That was around the time I was watching stuff like Robot Chicken, C-Lab, Squidbillies, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law. So many different type of shows that were going on around that time. All of them great. So rest in peace. Rest in peace, George Lowe. Odin Salty says, I was bummed out back when Kevin Conroy passed. I agree. Kevin Conroy passing was a big blow to the heart for me as a 90s kid. Alright, everyone. Well, I did all the goodbyes. Thank you so much for watching. I love you. I will see you guys tomorrow for our continuation of Infamous. Hopefully we'll try and knock that game out and move on to the next one. So, adios, everybody. Night-night.